Part 1. The Silent Plea. Elisor had been a bright and beautiful planet once. Forests stretched for hundreds of miles. Rivers ran clear and full. Cities sparkled with lights that reflected in the calm oceans. But now, the world looked very different. The sky was dark with smoke, and the wind carried the smell of fire. Most of the cities were in ruins, and the few people who survived hid in bunkers, caves, and ruined buildings. The Valkar Dominion, a powerful alien empire, had destroyed almost everything. Their ships floated above the planet, like metal predators waiting to strike. Lyra, a young diplomat of Elisor, stood on the edge of a ruined city. She could see the smoke rising from the remains of the council hall. Her heart ached. She had come to this place with Captain Joran, a soldier who had fought in many battles. Joran was tired. He had seen too much death. His uniform was dirty. His face was pale, and his eyes had a distant look. He did not speak much anymore. "They will not stop," Lyra said softly. She watched as a small group of children ran through the streets, carrying whatever food they could find. "They will destroy everything." Joran nodded slowly. "We are too weak to fight. Our fleets are gone. Our cities are gone. Soon, the people will have nothing left." Lyra shook her head. She did not want to give up. She had spent her life believing in diplomacy, in words, in hope. She turned to Joran. "Maybe we do not have to fight with weapons. Maybe there is another way." Joran frowned. "Another way?" "Lyra, we have tried everything. The Valkar do not negotiate. They do not care about treaties or pleas. They only care about power." Lyra's eyes were bright. She remembered the old stories her grandmother had told her when she was a child. Stories about heroes and legends, about worlds that once had mighty guardians. She took a deep breath and said, "Have you ever heard of the Star Guardians?" Joran raised an eyebrow. "The stories? Old fairy tales?" "Lyra, those are not real. They are only stories to entertain children." "Maybe," Lyra said. "But what if they are true? What if there is someone out there who can help us?" Joran looked at her and shook his head. "I have learned to trust only what I can see, what I can touch. Stories do not protect people from bombs or lasers." Lyra did not answer. She turned her eyes to the sky. The Valkar fleet hovered above the planet like a black cloud. Later, Lyra met with the Council of Elders. The elders were tired and old. Some of them argued that they should surrender to the Valkar Dominion. Others said they should fight until the last person fell. Lyra listened quietly. She knew that time was running out. If they did not act soon, all of Elisor would be lost. "We must try something else," Lyra said. The council looked at her, surprised. "There is a legend," she continued. "Long ago, there were people called the Children of Earth. They were strong, wise, and brave. They helped worlds in need. They fought against powerful enemies. They lived with animals that were loyal, intelligent, and strong." One elder, a man named Thomas, frowned. "That legend is very old. We have no proof that they exist. Why should we risk everything on a story?" Lyra's eyes did not leave his. "Because we have nothing else. We are dying. Our fleets are gone. Our cities are gone. We have no hope, unless we reach out. If the Children of Earth exist, they might help us." The council stayed silent. Lyra knew that fear was strong. People were afraid to hope. Joran stepped forward. "If she wants to try, we need a plan. We cannot just wait here. We need a way to reach them. We need a beacon. Something to send our message to the stars." The elders agreed, though reluctantly. They gave Lyra permission to use an old transmitter hidden in the mountains. It was ancient, built centuries ago, and it had never been fully used. Lyra and Joran led a small team of engineers and soldiers to the transmitter. The journey was dangerous. The mountains were filled with Valkar patrols, and the old paths were broken by landslides and fire. When they reached the transmitter, Lyra looked at the large, metallic structure. It was covered in dust and rust, but it was still standing. She felt a small spark of hope. Joran examined the controls and said, "This has not been used in hundreds of years. It may not even work." The engineers worked for days. They repaired broken circuits, replaced crystal cores, and rebuilt power lines. Lyra helped where she could, carrying tools and cleaning dust from panels. Outside, the sky was still dark with smoke, and the Valkar fleet continued to patrol the skies. Finally, the transmitter was ready. Lyra prepared a message. She spoke into the recorder slowly and clearly, her voice trembling at first, but growing stronger. She did not ask for power. She did not ask for revenge. She asked for mercy. She asked for help. She spoke of her people, of their suffering, and of their desire to survive. She included maps, data, and everything they knew about the Valkar Dominion. Joran watched silently. He did not believe it would work, but he did not stop her. When the message was complete, Lyra activated the transmitter. A beam of light shot into space. It was bright and powerful, cutting through the darkness of the planet's atmosphere. They waited. Days passed, and there was no answer. The people of Elisor began to lose hope. Food was scarce, and fear was everywhere. Lyra went from bunker to bunker, encouraging people, telling them to hold on. Joran stayed by her side, silent but supportive. Then, far away, on a small blue planet called Earth, things began to move. Old listening stations that had been silent for decades suddenly turned on. Programs hidden deep underground activated. A human woman named Amelia Clark sat in front of a screen in a quiet command center. She stared at strange coordinates on the display. "This is not normal," Amelia said to herself. She called her team. They examined the signal carefully. It was faint, but it was a clear plea for help. Someone, somewhere, was begging for mercy. Amelia felt a shiver run down her spine. She whispered, "They are asking for us. They are asking for help. They are asking for help." Back on Elisor, Lyra and Joran continued their work. They reinforced the transmitter, hoping it would continue to broadcast. They shared stories with the children about the legend of the Star Guardians, trying to keep hope alive. People listened, some skeptical, some believing. Lyra could see the change in their eyes. Even the smallest spark of hope was enough to keep them moving. One night, Lyra stood on a cliff overlooking the ruined city. The wind blew through her hair. She looked up at the stars, as if searching for a sign. Joran came up beside her. "Do you think they will come?" he asked quietly. Lyra did not answer at first. She studied the stars, their distant light cutting through the darkness. Then she said, "I do not know. But I have to believe. If we do not believe, we are already lost." Joran nodded slowly. He did not speak, but she could see the small spark of hope in his eyes. Together, they returned to the transmitter, watching as the light shot into the sky again. Somewhere, far away, their plea was heard. And somewhere, humans on a distant world were beginning to prepare to answer. As the night passed, the people of Elisor slept with a small hope in their hearts. Perhaps, just perhaps, they were not alone. Perhaps the legend was not a story after all. Perhaps mercy would come from the stars. The first part of their long journey had begun. The message was sent. The hope was alive. And the world, though broken and scarred, waited for what was coming. Part 2. Earth's Hidden Claws. Far across the galaxy, on a small blue planet called Earth, life seemed calm. Forests stretched for thousands of miles, cities bustled with people, and the oceans reflected the sun like mirrors. On the surface, it looked like a normal, peaceful world. But deep, underground, Earth hid a secret. A secret army, trained and ready for threats that most people did not even know existed. In a hidden mountain base in North America, a large room hummed with machines. Screens lit up the dark walls. A team of humans gathered around a glowing table. At the head stood General Harris, an older man with gray hair and sharp eyes. He had led this secret program, called Project Guardian, for decades. He had seen threats before, some small, some large, but nothing like the signal he had just received. "What do we have?" Harris asked. His voice was calm but firm. Amelia Clark, the analyst who first saw the alien plea, stepped forward. "Sir, we received a distress signal from a distant planet called Elisor. It is under attack by a powerful empire. The Valkar Dominion. Their cities are destroyed, their fleets destroyed, and their people are begging for help." Harris studied the screen. Images of burning cities, scared civilians, and strange alien ships floated in front of him. He nodded slowly. "Any idea who sent it?" "It appears to be a diplomat, Lyra, and a soldier, Joran," Amelia said. "They included star maps and data about the Valkar fleet. They are asking for mercy and for assistance." Across the room, a man named Logan Price stood. He was calm, tall, and strong. He had been a soldier once, but now he led the field teams of Project Guardian. He leaned forward and said, "What kind of assistance are we talking about? Are we ready to go that far?" Harris looked at him. "Logan, Earth has been quiet for a long time. We do not usually intervene in distant conflicts. But if this is true, we have the chance to help." "I need to see the animals," Logan said. The others in the room exchanged looks. Project Guardian was not just humans. It had something special. Animals that had been trained and enhanced over generations. Wolves, dogs, great birds, and even feline-like creatures. They were intelligent, loyal, and powerful. They worked with humans, not against them. A large door slid open, revealing a massive underground hangar. Inside, animals of all sizes waited. Wolves with thick fur and sharp eyes paced in their pens. Dogs with gleaming collars and harnesses wagged their tails. Giant eagles perched on high platforms, their sharp eyes scanning the room. Feline hybrids with sleek bodies and glowing eyes crouched silently, ready to move. Daniel Ross, a biologist and animal handler, stepped forward. He held a large black wolf by the collar. "This is Echo," he said. "He is fast, intelligent, and responds to commands instantly. He will follow a trained human without question." Logan knelt down. Echo sniffed him and tilted his head. Logan reached out and touched his nose. Echo pressed against his hand, trusting him immediately. "We have others," Daniel said. He called a golden dog forward. "This is Riley. She is excellent at tracking, sensing danger, and working with humans in complex operations. She is very loyal." The humans nodded, impressed. Above, Sky, a massive eagle with a wide wingspan, watched silently. Her eyes glowed faintly. She had sensors attached to her harness, but she also had intelligence that went beyond any human machine. The feline hybrids crouched at the edges, ready to move at the first command. Mia Carter, a clever engineer and pilot, stepped forward. She gestured at a large screen. "These animals are not just pets. They are trained partners. They are fast, smart, and can operate in ways humans cannot. They will be a huge advantage if we decide to help." Olivia King, a quiet intelligence officer, spoke up. "The signal is clear. They are desperate. They do not have the power to fight the Valkar Dominion alone. We can help them, but we need a plan. This will not be easy." General Harris looked around the room. "I will not lie. There is risk. If we go, we may attract the Dominion's attention. They are powerful, But our ancestors once promised to never ignore a plea for help. If we do nothing, countless lives will be lost. What is your recommendation? Logan stood straight. Sir, the animals and humans are ready. We can prepare a ship, a team, and go. We cannot guarantee victory, but we can give them a chance. Daniel added, the animals are eager to help. They sense the distress. They trust humans, and they will follow their partners. This is not just about fighting. This is about loyalty and trust. Mia smiled. And our ship, the Star Runner, is ready. It can carry humans, animals, and supplies. It is fast, strong, and capable of long-range travel. We can reach them before it is too late. General Harris took a deep breath. He looked at each of them. Very well. We will answer the plea. Earth will send help. Preparations began immediately. Engineers worked on the Star Runner, loading supplies, armor, and specialized equipment for the animals. Echo and his pack trained in enclosed tunnels, practicing stealth and coordination. Riley and other dogs ran obstacle courses to improve speed and alertness. Sky's birds flew in high chambers, carrying small devices that would help disrupt enemy sensors. The feline hybrids practiced silent movement, running across walls and ceilings in simulated environments. Humans and animals bonded even more during training. Logan walked with Echo, whispering commands and encouraging the wolf. Echo followed perfectly, understanding not just words, but intent. Daniel spent hours with Riley, teaching her new signals for complex situations. Mia adjusted harnesses, implants, and devices, making sure every animal was ready. Olivia monitored progress, making sure no mistakes were made. Finally, the day came to leave. The Star Runner stood ready in a hidden launch bay. The humans boarded the ship, followed by Echo, Riley, Sky, and the other animals. The engines hummed, and the bay doors opened. The team looked at each other, feeling the weight of their decision. Logan took a deep breath. Remember, he said, we are not just helping one planet. We are showing what loyalty, trust, and courage can do. Stick together. Trust your partners, and we can succeed. The engines roared to life. The Star Runner lifted from the bay and entered orbit. Far below, the Earth looked calm, unaware of the brave team leaving to face the unknown. The ship jumped into faster-than-light travel, vanishing into the darkness between stars. Inside the ship, the team worked together. Echo moved with Logan through tight corridors, ready for any challenge. Riley guided humans through simulations, reacting faster than any human could. Sky soared in the ship's special aerial chamber, practicing maneuvers. The feline hybrids observed and adapted to every scenario. Olivia monitored the navigation systems. Elisor is far, but we have the coordinates. If everything goes well, we will arrive in a few days. Mia adjusted the engines. We may encounter the Valkar fleet. We need to stay hidden and be ready for anything. Logan nodded. We are ready. We go to help those who cannot fight alone. We go as humans, with our beasts, with courage, and with mercy. As the stars blurred around the ship, the team looked out at the dark void. Far away, a small planet waited. People on that world had lost everything. Their hope was fragile, but soon, Earth's guardians and their animals would arrive, and somewhere, deep in the universe, the legend of the children of Earth was becoming real again. The first step of Earth's response had begun. Humans and animals, trained, loyal, and brave, were on their way to answer the desperate plea of Elisor. The fate of the planet, and perhaps many others, would soon change. Hope was alive, and it traveled on 4 legs, 2 wings, and the courage of humans who chose to act. Part 3. First Contact. Last Stand. The Star Runner emerged from faster-than-light travel at the edge of the Elisor system. The planet below was scarred and dark. Smoke rose from ruined cities, and oceans looked gray and lifeless. Circling the planet, the Valkar fleet hovered like a deadly cloud. Massive ships with sharp edges and glowing weapons patrolled in patterns, ready to destroy anything that moved. Inside the Star Runner, Logan Price stood at the main console. His eyes were sharp, scanning every screen. Beside him, Mia Carter adjusted the navigation. Her fingers moved quickly across the controls. "They have patrols everywhere," she said. "Any direct approach will be noticed. We need to be careful." Olivia King analyzed the data on another screen. "There are gaps in their patrols. Small areas where we could slip through, but we must move fast. The planet's atmosphere is thick with debris. Scanners may be unreliable. We can use that to our advantage." Daniel Ross checked on the animals. Echo, the black wolf, paced quietly in his special enclosure. He lifted his head, ears alert. Riley, the golden dog, sat calmly, ready for commands. Sky, the giant eagle, perched above, her wings folding neatly. The feline hybrids watched the crew silently, their eyes glowing in the dim light. Logan took a deep breath. "We are here to help. Not to fight a war alone. We need to reach the people who sent the plea. We need to make contact, establish trust, and prepare for coordinated action." "Everyone ready?" The humans nodded. The animals responded with quiet signals, moving into position. Echo growled softly, Riley barked once, and Sky gave a low screech. The feline hybrids crouched, ready to leap. The team plotted a stealth approach. Mia guided the Star Runner through a field of debris, using floating rocks and ruined satellites as cover. The Valkar scanners passed over them, not detecting the ship. Every moment was tense. One wrong move, one stray scan, and the fleet would attack immediately. After hours of careful movement, the Star Runner approached a hidden valley on Elisor. Below, a small group of survivors waited. Lyra and Captain Joran led them. The survivors had heard strange noises in the sky and seen a small light approach. At first, they thought it might be another Valkar attack. But then the light descended slowly, landing gently on the valley floor. The ramp of the Star Runner opened, and humans stepped out. Lyra's eyes widened. She expected heavily armed soldiers, but instead, she saw calm, organized humans accompanied by powerful animals. Echo stepped forward first, his black fur shining. He sniffed the air, then pressed his head against Logan's hand. The survivors stared, amazed. Riley walked to a small child, who had been hiding behind Joran. She wagged her tail and licked the child's hand. The child laughed. The first time in weeks, Sky's great wings spread wide, and she let out a sharp cry. But it was not threatening. The feline hybrids prowled silently, their movements smooth and quiet. Lyra felt her hope grow. Maybe the legend was real. Maybe help had come. Logan approached Lyra and Joran. "We are from Earth," he said. "We received your message. We are here to help." Lyra stepped forward, still cautious. I do not know if we can trust this," she said. "The Valkar might trick us. They might send something else in their place." Olivia spoke calmly. "We are not them. We have the message you sent. We know your coordinates, your situation, and your people. We come with humans and animals who are trained to help. We want to fight with you, not against you." Joran studied them closely. He had seen many deceits in his life, but something about these humans felt different. He looked at the animals, how they moved, how they interacted with each other, and with the humans. He finally nodded slowly. "Very well," he said. "We will work together." The humans and animals quickly assessed the situation. The survivors were weak, hiding in bunkers and ruined buildings. Supplies were low. The Valkar fleet controlled the skies and could attack at any moment. Logan and Lyra discussed strategy. "We cannot face their fleet directly," Logan said. "We are too few. But we can target key points on the planet. Communication hubs, sensor stations, and supply depots. If we disrupt them, the fleet will be confused. That will give your people a chance to defend themselves. Joran frowned. My people are used to fighting large battles. This seems small, sneaky. Will it work? Lyra smiled. We have to try. There is no other way. We have to be smarter, faster, and unexpected. And we have allies who are not ordinary soldiers. She gestured at the animals. Daniel stepped forward. Echo and the wolves can move through tunnels and narrow spaces where humans cannot. Riley and the other dogs can detect traps and alert us to danger. Sky and her squad can fly over sensor towers and take them out. The feline hybrids are excellent for stealth operations. Logan nodded. Then we divide our forces. Humans and Elisori fighters will hit key locations. Animals will strike at points humans cannot reach. Timing will be crucial. We coordinate, we move quickly, and we confuse the enemy. Preparations began. Humans and Elisori fighters trained together, learning each other's signals. Animals ran through practice courses, familiarizing themselves with the terrain. Echo and his pack tested tunnels, finding paths through the rubble. Riley led groups of survivors on safe paths, teaching them how to move quietly. Sky practiced dives, taking out mock towers and sensors. The feline hybrids moved silently through simulated corridors. Finally, the night of the first mission arrived. The team moved under the cover of darkness. The stars above were bright, but the clouds of smoke made the planet look darker than usual. Echo led his pack into a narrow tunnel under a ruined city. Their movement was quiet, precise, and fast. Riley guided a group of humans through a safe path, avoiding mines and traps. Sky and her squad soared above, watching for patrols and sensor towers. Logan and Joran moved with a small group to a communication hub. They carried minimal weapons, relying on speed and surprise. Olivia and Mia stayed behind, monitoring movements and coordinating signals. Every step was tense. Every shadow could hide a Valkar soldier. Inside the tunnels, Echo and his pack reached the first target. They moved silently, taking out small patrols with precise strikes. They did not fight like ordinary animals. They worked together, communicating through soft signals and movements. The humans following them were amazed at their coordination. Riley and her team reached another location, finding traps and disabling them. The Elisori survivors followed her guidance, moving quickly and safely. The children, once afraid, now felt protected by these loyal animals. Above, Sky and the birds attacked sensor towers. Small charges dropped from their claws and harnesses, disabling systems without triggering alarms. Sparks flew, and smoke rose, but the Valkar soldiers were too slow to react. Their patrols were confused. Logan and Joran reached the communication hub. They moved quickly, shutting down equipment and sending false signals to the Valkar fleet. The enemy was confused. Ships moved in wrong directions, sensors failed, and patrols became chaotic. The humans and animals had achieved more than anyone expected. The first mission was a success, but it came with a price. One of Sky's birds was lost. Struck by a stray beam, a wolf was injured, and humans had minor wounds. Daniel treated the animals carefully, using medical kits adapted for them. Lyra watched, touched by how humans treated their animals as family, not tools. She began to understand the strength of Earth's people. It was not only in their technology, but in loyalty, trust, and courage. After the mission, the team regrouped in the valley. They shared stories, laughed softly at small moments, and cared for the injured. Logan looked at Lyra and said, "This is only the beginning. The Valkar will not stay still. We need to plan the next moves. But we have shown that together, we can strike where they least expect it." Lyra nodded. "And my people will fight with you. We will trust in your plan. We will fight with courage and hope." Joran, who had doubted at first, now smiled. He patted Echo on the head. "I never thought I would see the day where I fought alongside a wolf like this. And I am glad I did." The night was quiet again, but the stars above felt brighter. The people of Elisor had hope. Humans and animals had arrived, their first mission had succeeded, and now the battle for their world had truly begun. As the valley slept, the distant Valkar fleet struggled with confusion, unaware that the strength of Earth's beasts and humans was already shaping the tide of the fight. The legend of the children of Earth was real, and it had come to life at last.